Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so just to go over it quickly, we're using a cash account this month, which means we're not going to be using margin. We're going to be strict with cash settlement, which means we'll be taking 10 trades a day, 5% of the port per trade. That'll leave us with, 50% of the account per day. So what's available Monday will be available again on Wednesday, plus the profits, which will get split and rolled into it. Um, yeah, other than that, it'll be basically like normal. Some people were worried that we're only going to take 10 trades and then we're going to be done for the day. I'll still stick around for the whole hour just because I'm done with that account doesn't mean that I won't, make calls and stuff. Yeah, 5% of the portfolio. And we're going to be doing 10 trades on the account today. So hopefully they're good trades, but you never know. That's the one of the problems with the cash account, limiting yourself in that way is if you're not giving yourself enough room, you could end up just taking, the bad part of the day with the account, and then the good part of the day you're missing out. So hopefully that's not the case, but we'll have to wait and see. Other than that, good morning, guys. We have HPCO here. It's looking pretty decent. It's come down to 540 there and all the way up to about $9.50. So we've got quite a range. It's sitting right on that 200 EMA, so it's looking good. PMXD. I thought I had PMXD or PXMD open. PXMD. Yeah, I do. I have it open right there. SXTC is looking good as well, going from $1.25 to a high there of $1.88. We have PXMD. This one's going to be a hard one for me. 327 to 419 here, currently sitting above that 200 EMA as well. We've got BGXX also looking all right, going from $1.33 to a high there of 349. So we had quite a range. It has dropped back down pretty dramatically and just below that 200 EMA. Maybe if we see it break above, could be a good play. We have JZ here going from 550 to a high of 680. So it's not too bad. It is staying up pretty high right now, so I'm not sure we'll take a play right on open here. We have AGRI, which was looking pretty good earlier on, but we saw it take a nasty dump and hasn't come back yet, so who really knows? And Vrax here just popped up on the scanner not long ago. It's something. Candles are all over the place. Haven't really seen much in terms of price action here. Volumes all over the place as well. So we'll have to see on open if this actually starts to move or not. So besides that, we will be watching open here in just a couple seconds. 20 to be exact. Let me just make sure everything else is set up. Yeah, that looks good. And I've switched over the tracker. And nothing new on the scanners. Okay. Let's wait and see how things open, and then we'll try and take our first trade here. Okay, so PXMD opening. Morning. So HPCO here is dropping. SXTC looking like it might run, so I think this might be our first trade of the day. I want to see if it holds a VWAP, so I'm going to start typing it in. CSXTC. So we'd be looking to get in around 170 here. Probably hit 180. I'd like to get more out of it, maybe like 185, but I don't really want to push it too hard. And then 160, maybe 166 stop. Now let's go 165. Let's give it a shot. We'll see if it holds here. It is really high from this 200 EMA, which kind of worries me, but it could also run. So try to get your SXTC entry. Okay, I typed it in right. Fairly quickly, just in case, but make sure it's not a high one, so you can definitely get at least $1.70 here. Okay, there's $1.70 there, so we'll wait and see what happens with that. We've got HPCO here taking a little bit more of a drop past that 200 EMA, so we'll leave that alone for now. BGXX also. We do have JZ opening up really high here. Looks like it's on its way back down. And then we have AGRI not doing anything, and Vrax opening up very volatile. SXTC still kind of bouncing around, so remember our stop loss is going to be about 165, which is fairly close. But we'll see what happens with that. 178. We can start to scale it a little bit. Scaling out a little. SXTC 178. Mostly because, or 179, even 180. Just because I want to make sure we're making some money. So here's 180 right here. Going to start scaling out. Oh, we got 182. All All right, cool. Back down a little bit. We didn't hit quite 185 on it, but that's okay. It might come back up. We've got HPCO. It is holding this 200 EMA. I think we do need to give this a little bit more room, but we could try an HPCO play because I think this is something that's going to run. So let's go for a 790. We'll go for 880 and then a 7. Wow, this is the range on this is so big. I guess we're going to have to go 770. Unless we can get in lower, but I don't think we are. And 770 is like right at that VWAP. That's HPCO. Okay. We're at 840 here, so we're going to start to talk about taking some profits. HPCO, 840. And wow, we're already at 850. This is just going straight up. We're going to scale it a little bit here. SXTC is down a little bit here, but we did hit that 182 level again. AGRI is gapping up, so I'm not really sure I want to touch that quite yet because I really don't want to be part of that. And we have JZ all the way down back to 630 here, so I think I want to open a recovery play on JZ here. JZ, about 630-ish. We're going to go for 680. And then at 6, we'll give it till 610. 612. We'll give it 612. Unfortunately, 610's right on that support area, so hopefully we see a recovery out of JZ here pretty quickly. In fact, I think if it dropped past that 630 mark, I might just take a cut on it. SXTC not doing a whole lot. HPCO halted high at 865 here. So we ran it into a halt. The second trade of the day into a halt. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is yet to be decided. We missed PXMD here with a run up. So we're going to let it be, but that looked pretty good too. Didn't really give much warning though. There wasn't any build up on volume or anything. It was just like straight green, straight up. So we'll have to wait a little bit on that. AGRI not doing much. Frax does look like it's going up, but again, the price action, it's kind of hard to read. There's not a whole lot going on here, so kind of hard. How I start with such a low cash amount, IBCare. It's probably because I have a lot of accounts through them. So it's just, you know, probably special rules because it's not like it's my only account with like $500. I think the lowest. Yeah, I don't know. I think the lowest, I don't know, you could put $500 into accounts and trade with it. Yeah, I've never had a problem with margin at $500, but I'm not really sure because it's not all the same account for me, right? I have plenty of accounts on there, so maybe because I have more accounts under my name, it just transfers the security leverage over, if that makes sense. 752. 752 is what entry? Oh. Switch PC and it's working? Oh, I wonder if it's a PC problem. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You got to keep the emotions in check. Thanks, man. It was KSauce's idea. We hit 184 on SXTC here. Yep, that's what he said. Keeps you relatable. There is a human behind the voice. It's a Mac problem. Wear a mask on Halloween? Yeah. The trading software does hate Macs, and that's probably the only reason I don't have a Mac. I really do like Macs otherwise. JZ continues down, so there was like a brief period where you could take a little bit of profit, but it's not happening, so we're going to be stopping out on that. So hopefully you took a cut since it dropped below that 630 mark, but if you didn't, you're hitting stop now. So we're going to be leaving that alone. PXMD is still sitting up really high, and we still have HPCO here to worry about when it unhalts. SXTC back down all the way to that $1.70 area. MACD's pointed down currently, but I think I want to take a risk on this trade again. So SXTC. Maybe $1.70 again. We're gonna try for just $1.80 here, and then a dollar. We'll try for $1.60. $1.65 seems like a lot to risk right now. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? $1.66. We'll just go $1.66. That makes me happy. Move it up 1 cent. I don't think that actually makes any sort of difference, but $1.85. Just like that. Okay. Oh no, I hit too many wrong buttons there. Not all out on SXTC on the first one or the second one, but I do have majority out on that first trade, and I have the first exit on the second trade there. My fill wasn't very good because I caught it on the way up, but that's okay. PXMD is coming down. It's a bearish looking candle right here, so we are going to wait a little bit for it. Trying to get this to, there we go. Nope, didn't want that MACD gone. The XMD might head back up here. That's a bullish looking candle, but it's very small. Let's see what SXTC has here. If it drops back down to $1.70, I may just take it. We don't really need to switch up what we're playing too much as long as we're making cash on it. And SXTC is giving us a fair shake at some cash here. So, and HPCO opens up at $9. We're going to take our next exit on it. We're going to leave a runner. Taking profit, HPCO, 930, 940, 970. Okay, taking profit. Yeah, okay, cool. Got out. Jesus, I didn't even get to type it right. I like panicked there last second. No. Okay. I have to remember to take it easy with the typing. Okay, so what did we get in at on HPCO? $7.91. That's crazy. And we're already at we're almost at $10 on this. You weren't fast enough to get in on HPCO. Yeah, you had to, it was definitely something you had to run at real fast. Hold and slow. Any runners? Yeah, we do have some runners on HPCO. We have probably enough to make one more exit on it unless we really stretch it out. Mobile's acting up. INAB again, eh? Let's take a look at INAB. I'm gonna get rid of all these lines because they don't mean anything right now. We've got 250 to $1 or 280 here, so that's not too bad of a range. It's staying up pretty high. Price action's not looking great on it either. I didn't forget to stir the coffee today. Yeah, I didn't. I remembered because it was pretty gross yesterday. So we're stopping out on the runner on SXTC. First one was basically all out. Second one we had a fair bit, so that brought down our average a little bit. But you know what? That's okay because we still made away with about 10 cents profit. So, and now we're just waiting for HPCO to unhalt again so we can probably secure the last of our profits here. Unless we want to be really risky with it and just hold. We're up to 4 trades for the day, I believe. Let me go back and take a look here. Yeah, 4 trades for the day. So we're almost halfway done on the account. Man, it's only been 10 minutes. Although that's how it always starts. It always starts with a lot of trades right at open and then kind of slows down from there. So I don't really want to limit myself if I see good opportunities early on, because obviously we don't know what's going to happen in the future. It could just stop being playable in the future. So I want to make sure that we're trying to maximize our cash value. Can I show? It's all closed down. Like the only thing I have open on IBKR is my chart and my what's it called? The order entry window. That's it. I keep it all closed. I don't even look at the P&L on things. To do the P&L, I have to open up separate windows and stuff. I kind of want to do this. PXMD is going to go. You know what? It might go actually. It's sitting right on that VWAP. I want to do this challenge on Trade Zero because I just opened an account with them, but I'm not quite comfortable enough with it quite yet to try doing a challenge with it. I feel like I'm too slow with it still. And I need to figure out how to set up some orders properly. PXMD sitting down a little bit low here. It could be breaking down. That MACD is facing down. You suck at them? Well, we can go over it too. We can have a meeting or whatever and go over it, or join us on. I think it's Friday this week. Is it Friday? I can't remember if our master meeting is tomorrow or I think it's tomorrow. I think it's Friday this week, and we can go over how you can make that better. How I still do that and type, and it's hard. It is hard. It's a juggling act. Because sometimes you have to decide whether or not you're going to type something first or you're going to get in first. And if it's already running, yeah, I'm going to get in first. That's why the live people in the live always get in better than people not in the live. Not so much like YouTube's okay, but the delay makes it almost the same as an alert. You just get a little more out of it. But I can talk a lot faster than I can type things out. So Jay-Z here just taking a massive dump. CMRA we could take a look at. Thought I had CMRA open earlier. I think the pre-market was looking pretty bad for it. So yeah, the pre-market wasn't really looking great for it, but currently sitting above that VWAP, it does look okay. The range on it is currently about 220 to 240, so you have a decent amount range here. We'll move that up because that looks like a possibility. I want to see if it's going to break down from this 200 EMA. So maybe on a retest, we'll see. Yeah, you know what? I'm with you on that. PXMD does look like it wants to go. So PXMD, we're going to go for probably a 385 entry and a 420 PT with a 375 stop. Just going to give it a 10-cent stop, I think. You could give it a little right on the support line, of course. We'll go right under it. 370. 373. Moving stop to 373. Just below support. PXMD. I was impatient with that and got a little bit not great of a fill. 388. CMRA is not looking too bad here. I do kind of want to try it, but I feel like they're... Oh, HPCO is open. We did see a high there, 1065. It is on its way back down. If it drops much further, it'll probably halt down. So make sure you take out the rest of this trade somewhere. I'm going to halt here any second, so make sure you take out some profit. Okay, well, I definitely didn't catch the top on it. I wasn't really watching. It was at 1060. Yeah, I really didn't catch the top. But you know what? We went from 790 to 1060, so pretty good trade. PMXD dumped. Yeah, right into stop. Oh well. And that is PXMD. It was worth a shot. No regrets. SXTC not really looking like it's coming back. CMRA does look like it actually just wants to go here. So I think we could try a CMRA trade. We're looking at probably getting in around 230 here. I guess it's just going to give it to us. And then we're going to go for 250. And then a 220. Let's give it a 225 stop. Hey, we're getting much better entry here. Hang on. CMRA. 200 EMA right here. Let's take that. 222. Jumped in 222 on 200 EMA. SL is 218. So we're going to put the stop right there. Okay, so we're back up to almost 230 here. So we can start even taking some profits now. Take some profits. CMRA. 230-ish. I would actually like 232-ish, but I mean, if you can't wait, 230-ish is definitely fine. And I'm kind of impatient today. Especially with securing profits, I would really like to keep it going. HPCO still going up. Do we risk jumping in here? I think we do. HPCO, probably for 970. We're gonna go for about maybe a 1050 and then a 9, maybe a 950 stop loss. Now it's dropping again. Okay, we'll fix those parameters then. Maybe we'll go 950 for an entry, 930 for a stop, and we're gonna keep that 1050 PT because I'd like to get at least a whole dollar out of it. But we're gonna see because it hasn't really broken down past that 922 mark. I know 930 is pretty close, but I can't really afford to give it more room here. So that's about as good as it's gonna get for us on that trade. Fingers crossed it doesn't drop on us. We'll see. We're up to $10 here, so that's almost 50 cents up. So we can take some profits out here. Take some profits, $10 in HPCO. It's so funny. We literally went from like buying 300,000 shares to 30. It's hard to get used to that sometimes. Wait, my stop loss is a stop limit or stop? It's a market stop. So it gets billed as a market stop. And CMRA dumped? Yeah, it did. It's a good thing we took a little bit of profit early, but it did dump really hard there. We're getting stuck in a lot of these knives, actually. We're up to 1014 here. Hit a high of 1022. We got like 20 shares left of HPCO, so. JZ's down, AGRI's. I thought, but again, I'm not going to play this because it's gapping up and down. The price action's not there. The volume's erratic. There's money to be made, but there's also some spread on it, so you got to be careful with that. I don't think I'm going to play that. Same thing with Brax. INAP, again, the volume's a little more consistent. The price action's not. JZ is heading down. We got BGXX. Like, I like the price action on this one, and I like the consistency in the volume, but we're not really moving anywhere. We're going from $1.69 to $1.82. So we've got like a 10-cent range here, and it's in a slight uptrend. So I'd say like maybe if you're gonna jump in next time, it's $1.76 and maybe try to aim for like $1.90. But whether that's gonna happen or not. Is it good to re-enter PXMD? No. I would say no, not yet. I think we're getting close. I think we're definitely getting close. Off this 200 you made, that could have been definitely a play when this wicked down on us, but that would have been hard to catch unless you already had that pre-planned. But I think it's getting pretty close. We just want to see a little bit of an increase in volume here. Am I in any trades? Yes, HPCO. I still have some left in HPCO. I think that's it, though. Yeah, that's it. Might take your 66 bucks and call it a day. Not bad. Better than yesterday. Is it better than yesterday? I can't remember what you made yesterday. I just look at the charts. At 39 yesterday, right? You think INAB's looking good? Well, that was definitely a nice candle. You know what? This does look like with the recent formation that is going to head up. So I'm with you on that. Let's try an INAB play here. 280 seems like a little high to get in it. I'd really like 275, but I'm not sure if we're going to get that just yet. And then a 290 PT with a maybe just a 270 stop. I know 270 is still pretty close, but I think we can only afford 5 cents here. Nab. We're probably going to end up having to get in higher here, like maybe 280. 280, then our stop loss has to move up to 275. I think the biggest problem with having so many screens is sometimes you lose your mouse, especially when you have to be on every single screen. How do I know my fill when I sell? I get little pop-ups. Limit fills? No. I think I'm probably the worst example of how to use IBKR. I just use it for the fast fills. That's literally it. And honestly, once playing around with Trade Zero, I do prefer Trade Zero for a lot of things. The only thing that kind of bugs me is the no percentage stop. So I have to manually, you can set like a range stop. So it has to be like 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. You can have the hotkeys for it. And then you can move it around the chart if you want to. But it's a little annoying. It's a little annoying. So we hit that 280 level, so we could get in there. I think it might come down more though. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely look into using HPCO. Yeah, we're stopping on the remainder of HPCO here. But it is hitting VWAP. That is a potential entry. We also have a support line right there too. So that's definitely something to look at. Let's see if it holds here. We're going to see a retest. BGXX recovery. Yeah, that was a decent recovery for sure. Did I get into INAB already? No, I'm still waiting. I still think it's coming down lower. That MACD's starting to curl, volume's starting to turn red a little bit. I'm still waiting for it. I don't know. I know 275 looks like a dream right now, but 280, I feel like our stop loss at 275 will be too close, so. Can you say when you buy? Yeah. I'm waiting on this retest here. HPCO. Let's see. We're gonna be trying for about 905. Hopefully to hit $10. And then we're gonna be looking at maybe an 880 stop out. But that MACD is very close to that zero line, so this is something I want to wait on just a tiny bit, even if we get a worse fill because of it. How many trades are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. INAB will be 8, or HPCO will be 8. So we're getting close to our limit for the day, and after that, I'll just start making calls. I probably won't be trading it because I can't on this account. So it'll be the same, basically the same for you guys anyway. HPCO, dude, go lay down. It's too early for you. No. What? Go lay down, dude. 920. Now that MACD's right at that zero line. I think I'm gonna wait it out a little bit longer. Pixie. Let's take a look at Pixie. I haven't heard Pixie in forever. Is it when the price hits the PE, then it's a market fill? I manually market buy. Ah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. No, I just use a hotkey that market buys me. You're thinking of like a stop buy or limit buy. I don't. Jesus, dude. No. Get down. Get down. Get down. Pixie's $26. I'm pretty sure when we played it was a lot smaller. Like $4 or something. Yeah, see, HPCO, it dropped from that 200, or from the VWAP there, same time as that MACD dropped. So, wasn't ready to take that play. Yeah, he likes to think he's cute. He's cute, but he's got an attitude. SXTC might curl up here, but I still don't think that's a play either. CMRA is not worth playing. PXMD is right at that 200 EMA, so if there was ever going to be a play, it's probably here, but that volume is still really low. MACD is still negative. It's a risky play. We have seen lower, 320. We could try it. I think I'm going to try it. PXMD. So we're going to be aiming basically for this 356 level. We're going to be going for about maybe 380, maybe a 3. I think we could suffice with a fairly tight stop here, maybe 350. We can't really afford to go all the way down to 345, so I'm just going to leave it at 350 there, because if we start to break down, we don't really want to continue holding that. So we're going to see if this can pick back up or not. So that's going to be PXMD. PXMD. $355. Okay. Yeah, so that's why we were waiting for the retest on HPCO, because it hit that VWAP and that MACD was also sitting around that zero threshold. And almost always when you get those two lines at the same time, it'll fall through and start dropping. Couldn't tell you why, but it's just something you notice after doing it for so long, I guess. I guess we get instantly stopped out on PXMD. That's cool. I think that happened twice on PXMD now. I guess that stock just doesn't like us. Oh, on PXMB, I did, yeah. Yeah, 355 to 350. VGXX doesn't look like it wants to hit much higher right now. We're going to see if it holds on this 200 EMA. Nope, not holding, so it's going to drop. And HPCO did look like it wanted to make a small recovery here, but I kind of want to wait for this MACD to start to turn around a little bit. Because we're not making it to the 200 EMA or the support line. I would highly doubt that. I do think it's going to head back up. What do I use to scan pre-market stocks? Trade ideas. I probably would not recommend it unless you have a lot of cash. Can I repeat that about HPCO? Yeah, so this green line right here, this is the VWAP, right? So the stock was coming down close to VWAP. At the same time, we saw the MACD coming close to the zero threshold here. And when you see a stock crossing or just about to touch the VWAP and it's just about to touch the zero threshold and go negative, like 99% of the time it falls through and the stock starts to drop. So you could use this like a short entry if you wanted to. That's how institutions use it. I'm not much of a shorter, so I don't normally do that. I just stay out. Did that make sense? I'll make a YouTube video about it later. Go over it again. Trade Zero mobile issues. I haven't even looked at the mobile version because I don't think I'd ever trade on mobile, but IBKR is the worst on mobile, I gotta say. Questrader is pretty bad too. A stock crossing the VWAP, not necessarily the MACD at the same time. I don't know if they use the MACD, but I do know that the reason we use the VWAP line is because it's an institutional threshold. If a stock drops below it, institutions start shorting. If it goes above, they start going long on it. So you can count on that for pressure. This is starting to look like a curl up on HPCO. This could be another stop out. It's a little bit risky, but I do want to try it. So HPCO, 860, we're going to go in for like, I don't know, 920 maybe, and then an 8. Well, we're dropping to 850 here. Is that a new low? No, it's not a new low, but it could be a potential entry here. Okay, we're breaking to new low, so forget that. We're just going to leave a B again. This might actually come down to that 200 EMA then. That bottom band looks like it's opening up here, so this definitely could drop harder. You could take this as like a quick scalp. I'm not going to because we only have like 2 trades left, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, this could be a potential recovery play right here for a small scalp, but I'm trying to aim for bigger plays here with get a little more bang for the buck. INAB, not looking too bad. Pixie's just halted up, which is nuts. STC is still dropping. This at the 200, so that's another decent opportunity there. BGXX not going higher, but it's also not breaking down yet. Okay, HPCO. Okay, that MACD is starting to turn around. We're starting to see a little bit of green volume here. Let's go ahead and get an HPCO entry. Maybe 830. 830 is at the bottom here. So we saw 820. Let's try for 825 then. We're gonna try for $9. And then we're going to go for an 8. So if we go $8, that puts us right below this line. I think we can swing $8. Not if it's up higher, though. So if it's up higher, you're going to have to move that stop up, which is fine because, I mean, we're really banking on the curl up here. But I'd like to have that extra safety if we can. Jumping in somewhere here. Having a hard time talking today. Yeah, I got him. 845. So at 845, we're not going to have an $8 stop. We're probably going to have like an 8. I would like to put stop at 820 right there. It's about the most we can afford to lose. Yeah. If we're using a cash account, we're really having to limit the amount of trades we're taking. So you kind of have to maximize the value more than just scalping. I mean, you can just scalp and it's going to be doable, but like obviously I want to grow this account as fast as possible. So I mean, unless we're in a really bad day and the only way to make money is quick scalps, then for sure we're gonna do quick scalps. But if we have opportunities where things look like they could be going a little bit better, then normally we'll take longer plays. We're really close to stop already, just a massive red candle. Today is very knifey. I think we're still positive for the day, but it's definitely knifey. Yeah, we're up 1.9% on the account, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we're up $95. So, I mean, that's something, I guess. Well, we're at 41% on alert, so that's good. Not including this last trade, which is probably going to go. How big is the account? It is 5 grand. So that's the problem with cash accounts, right? You get slow growth. Yeah, BGXX definitely popping up here, going from 190 to 225. Again, just volume out of the blue. It was holding for quite some time, so saw the break of the VWAP there. We're stopping out on HPCO here. Man, we're just hitting knives all over the place. So that will be 820. All the way down to VWAP, or 200 EMA, so that could be a potential entry, but we only got 1 trade left, so I kind of want to make sure that we're going to make some money here. CMRA is looking pretty good, but I'm afraid we're going to get knifed on again if we play this. I think this one's already gotten us at least once. Oh no, we made some money on it, right? It's too close to the top band though right now, so we'll have to let that be. PXMD is not going to be playable. We've got JZ, not really playable. INAB here, it's going up slowly, but the range is not there. And it looks like HPCO is going to be dead, so we're not going to be playing that. I think it's CMRA or nothing right now. BGXX really going for it. Might actually be going up into a halt here pretty quick. Yeah, most likely. BGXX, man, that's now that you know what, that just hit resistance there. I think that could be a bad thing. Gonna leave that be. And we're gonna leave this be too. We're just gonna set our hands here for a minute. We'll find something. I still want to make HPCO work, but I think we got to give it a decent range if we're going to do that. I still think this is going to curl. You know what? I'm going to use the last trade on our thing and try an HPCO again. HPCO. Then we can try another HPCO. So we're going to go for an 810 entry. 880. And then just a 780 stop loss. If we can get lower than 810, you can move that stop down lower, but I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to have to get it either a little bit higher or right at. Okay. So we're in. Yeah, it's today's very knifey, so unfortunately that means you kind of have to either wait for opportune moments or give things a little bit more room than you normally would, and neither of those things are great. So So that is the last trade, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the last trade that we're doing for the day. But I'll continue to call for the next 23 minutes or whatever anyway. We'll see what we can make happen. It came down a little bit and I went for it. Yeah, it did come down a little bit. It did break through that resistance a little bit there too, so that's something that's good. Gonna have a lot of resistance at this upper band, I think. This one right here, 243. HPCO down a little bit, so if you're waiting for entry, it'll be now. The INAB knife, yep. Yeah, see, everything's knifing today. I think every stock has done that. JZ did it. BGXX kind of did it early in the morning. PXMD definitely did it like 3 times. Oops, I need to click that. SXTC a couple times as well. CMRA definitely got us with a knife, but luckily we secured a little bit before that. And then we also had HPCO get us, I think, twice as well. It does seem like a slow day. Yep. Slow day for a couple reasons, and I think one of them is safety. When things start to really like act erratic and you can't really when you can't really, see why it's doing what it's doing, and or it doesn't really have a reason, everything's just kind of sharp dropping on you. It's hard to find opportunities because you have to find good support levels, and even that, it doesn't really hold. Like we've seen HPCO drop through support levels like no tomorrow. SXTC, yeah. Every new day in a month, like the first day of a month. I would say it's a little slower. I think a lot of people end up cashing out a lot of their account at the end of the month, and they start with a smaller amount, so you get a little bit of safer plays happening. And you also have institutions that are picking up new positions at the beginning of the month or closing out old positions or stuff like that. So I do think that can play a part in it. I do think the last day of the month is usually pretty good. On the 5-minute chart, that can't be good. Yeah, it did. Well, let's hope that's meaningless, but I doubt it is. I'm looking for more opportunities for you guys here. I'm not really seeing anything I would put money on yet. BGXX, if it comes down to VWAP, maybe. We'll think about that. INAB. JZ. CMRAs. Going back. I think CMRA off that 200 EMA, so I'm going to make a call for that. CMRA. Hang on. Before I do that, just so everybody is clear, the cash account, the last trade was HPCO. After this, it's just me making calls. CMRA. 225. No, because VWAP is here. 200 EMA is 222. So that would be the proper entry there. 222. And you're probably looking at about 235 with a 2. You can't really afford to give it a 215 stop. Probably like 217 would be fairly safe. So your stop's going to be 217 here. And then your entry point is going to be about here. You're probably going to want to take profit on that at the top of this band here. So you're going to want to take profits like here. And then again, probably, well, 235 is pretty close. I'd probably wait for like 238. HPCO bouncing again. Let's hope that MACD actually starts. 827. What do we get? 817. That's not a whole lot of money. 829. 10 cents profit. Secure something or secure nothing and wait? That's the question. I think we're going to wait a little bit. I think this is going up. Vrax is running. Is Pixie still halted? Yeah, it is. We can just close that out because we're definitely not playing Pixie. Yeah, Vrax running up pretty good. 385 to 420. Wow, that candle just formed. Let's see here. Sharp drop on that MACD. That could change any second, though. We did go from no volume to a lot of volume, so that worries me. So I wouldn't be taking a play on that just yet. JC, BGGX, BGXX, not BGGX. PXMD, HPCO at 830. I'd say if we make it like here, we'll probably be taking some profit off the table on the last trade we're taking. CMRA looking decent here, 227. BGXX about to test support. You think so? We're going to see when it hits VWAP here. There's a little bit of support in that area as well, other than the VWAP, but I'm curious about this MACD because by the time this hits VWAP, MACD is going to be touching that zero line. So I think we're going to see a nasty drop, or we might see a sharp turnaround. So we'll have to wait a second and figure that out. All right, so we just hit that line we want to take profits on at 845. So let's go ahead and take some profits. Just about 850 there. I'm going to leave quite a bit left in this because I think we might actually be catching the bottom here. We could see a pretty good return. So I think the next level we'll be looking to take some profit at is maybe you could look at $9 and take profit there. That's probably the safest bet. So right there. And then the last scale out would be probably about $10. CMRA heading up still. We're seeing that get close to that 232 area. $9 EMA is a very bullish indicator when you're using it to trade. So recently I haven't been. I think the last month you definitely could have, but it produces a lot of false signals if you're not in a bull market. So I haven't been using it, but this last month I probably could have been. BGXX looks like it's not going to hit that VWAP. Looks like it might turn around right here. Anyway, HPCO still kind of struggling, but it does look like it wants to keep going. We're just crossing positive on that MACD. CMRA back down to entry point here at 220, but it did hit all the way up to 230. BGXX maybe not curling. This was a reversal candle. This one was sort of a reversal candle, but even a little bit bullish. So I think this is definitely looking like on a 3-candle context that it should be turning around. I'm going to make that call. I think that's what's going to happen here. BGXX 210, maybe 230, and then 205. What's the low here? That's 208, maybe 205. If you can get in lower, obviously that's better. So that's your stop there, 205. Unless you got in here, 208, that's definitely a good place to buy in. If it breaks 208, I would say you're probably looking at getting out pretty quickly, so you wouldn't even really be using a stop. So if you did get a 208, you could just keep a stop at 205. I wouldn't bother making it lower. I know like a lot of times you want to move your stop lower with the stock, but when you're sitting near that zero threshold, there's really not a point because usually something breaks through the zero threshold, it's going to continue dropping. CMRA all the way touched that 232 mark, so that's a scale out point. CMRA 232. So with BGXX, your first potential place to start taking some money off the table. If you got a 208, so you're probably looking at maybe like a 216 to 218 area. 218 would be the best. Maybe looking at taking some profits 218. I keep going to ledger these trades, but it's weird starting with like doing everything and then slowing it down to just making the calls. There's so much less typing and moving and thinking to do. PXMD still, you know what? It might be hitting a bottom here, pretty close to it. 319's probably a good bottom too, so 327 is a support line. You might see a bounce on PXMD, but I don't know about that stock, man. We got CMRA here, looking like it might touch that 232 and start to run. Just needs to break through. Lots of sellers piling up. Never mind, 240. HPCO coming down a little bit here. Why do I use this MACD? Because it's easier to read and it gives you all the necessary information that you need. How do you use it? I probably do a video on that too, but this white line is called the zero threshold. So when this orange line drops below it, that means the stock's going bearish. When it breaks above it, it's going bullish. And that's basically all you really need to know. And these down here, this is just volume bars. I just have them moved off the chart down here so that the chart itself is a little cleaner. Yeah, HPCO's back down a little bit, so did hit 860 there, on its way back down. We're at 817 currently. CMRA finally breaking out here, going to head up to that 237 or 238 profit taking point. Maybe. I'm not sure what happened to those 300 sellers unless we ate them up, but it didn't look like we did. So unless I missed a big order here. VWAP and MACD crossing? It's too well, they're not crossing with each other, so that's probably what's confusing, right? So this green line's the VWAP. When the stock is crossing down or getting close to crossing down, that's the crossing. And then when you have the MACD also coming down, so this is a good example right here, right? This is why we didn't take the HPO play or HPCO play, because the stock was coming down and it was just about to touch the VWAP line here. It's kind of hard to see with all these lines I have going on, but it's right there. At the same time, we saw the MACD coming down, and it was just about to cross the white line here. So when you see that happen at the same time, you don't really want to take an entry on a stock, because you're looking at a stock that where the chart is saying that it's about to go bearish, and then the MACD is also saying it's about to go bearish. So day traders use MACD a lot for this kind of stuff, and then institutions use VWAP a lot. So you have two different parties in the stock market looking at this saying, oh, it's going down. So that's a pretty good indicator. You shouldn't be getting into it. At least not yet. You can always count on like the 200 EMA because that's the average of the last 200 days of buyers, right? So there's a good support at the 200 EMA. Yes, it is different from the default. The default has two lines and it's got the histogram and all that kind of stuff. Most of that's taken off. It's stripped down to bare. How do you use the Bollinger Bands? They're a mark of volatility. So when the bands are opening up wider, it means there's more volatility. And when the bands are tighter, it means there's less. We hit that profit taker 238 on CMRA here. I think we actually almost hit 240. So that was the next point to take profit. Take profit, CMRA 240-ish. That's not bad, though. I think that's your first losing day in a while. BGXX down, so yep, that would be a stop out. It looked like it was curling a little bit. Almost hit that profit taker, 2 cents shy. So remember I was saying 216 and then I moved it to 218. That was me being greedy. Even though I'm not in the trade. I still have that greedy mind frame sometimes. Just need that 2 extra cents. PXMD. PXMD is continuing its drop. At this point, I would almost be looking to short. If you break down from this 308 level, it looks like it's going to just continue going down. JZ not doing anything, INAB not doing anything. The Vrax down. So again, you have a stock crossing below this VWAP, and then you have this MACD, right? So if that had not bounced right now, it would have been a clear sign to stay out. But you have buyers stepping in to push it back up. So that's one of those situations that I may have missed out on, because as the stock gets close and the MACD gets close, usually I'm more hesitant on taking the trade unless you see bullish stuff happening right before. But there wasn't a lot of warning on that. It did actually dip a little bit past it. And we got BGXX down, crossing that VWAP. Maybe it's a bounce here. PXMD heading down. HPCO did drop a little bit, but pretty bullish move back up. So, are those yellow lines manually support? Yeah, they are manual. So the yellow ones are the support and resistance lines, the red ones are stop losses, and the green ones are either entries or take profit lines. So you should have been pretty much fully out of CMRA at this point. Or maybe holding a small runner. Looks like it's dipping back down to the 200 EMA. So if it hits that 200 EMA 222, you can look at another entry. So CMRA 222, we'll go for 238, and then a 217 stop again. So basically the exact same trade because it's still playing in the same range. PXMD, yeah, I still don't think this is curling up. It could be. It definitely could be, but I think it's too risky. It's just touching that 315 level. It could still drop down to 308. Yeah, I kind of figured it would bounce off that VWAP line. So this one's a different story with the VWAP line because we had already seen that MACD cross into bearish before the MACD was touched, or the VWAP was touched. So that's kind of a different story. You're getting a divergence of signals, I guess. GCT, we can take a look at that. Yeah, GCT is looking pretty bullish, $15 to $22, so good range there. Yeah, I'd be looking to get in on VWAP there. I'm not someone who plays $20 stocks usually, so unless it's something that's just running like crazy, I wouldn't consider this that though. CMRA back up to that 232 level, so this is where you'd be taking profit. CMRA 232. Feels weird not actually taking the trades at all. Just sitting here. What's the settings for the Bollinger Bands? Let's take a look. So length is 20, standard deviation 2.2, and offset -2. Yeah, I think Jackal's in the same boat too. Oh no, wait. Jackal has it working, I think. The brokerage account. Vrax, yeah, Vrax is up, so it did make that pretty nice bounce. Came up quite a bit. Bring up that VWAP a little bit as well, which is nice. You could probably look for a VWAP bounce again. Sort of working. That doesn't sound too good. Can't trade easily. Yeah. HPCO making another push here. So this is still something we're actually in, or I'm actually in. PXMD still not really looking great. We have BGXX probably going to drop back down to the VWAP line. RIBT I'm going to take a look at. We'll get rid of this. Ribbit or Rice Bran Technologies. That is just a terrible name for a company. Rice Bran Technologies. So that's going from 240 all the way up to 316. It's looking okay. That was a nasty drop though. Another knife. CMRA looking like it's meeting a little bit of resistance here. It did this last time though, and then it jumped up to 238, so be ready to take some profits there. Is Brax good to add? That kind of wording worries me because that makes it sound like you're like wanting to average in or invest in it. I would not suggest averaging in or investing in penny stocks. Like if you're planning on scalping it, I wouldn't do it just yet. I would wait for it to touch this VWAP again. So you're looking at like a 404 entry. No problem. Oh, really? That's the first stock you ever bought? That's kind of cool. I can't remember the first stock I ever bought. I know my first big winner was MRTX, MRTX, MTX, MTRX, MTRX. That's what it was. I bought it for 14 cents, averaged down to 11 cents, and then it went all the way up to $2.40 before I exited my position. I think that was like my first decent win, and that was probably $26,000. Here's was Apple. You started on the safe side. I started on the dark side. I started with penny stocks. Dwack. 18 to 95. Nice. I played GME, got in at $40, rode it all the way up to $440 or something, and then it dropped all the way back down to $40, and I didn't take any profit on it because I thought it was going to like 1,000. And then I held it for 2 weeks at $40. It didn't move, and then literally I sold it, and 20 minutes later, jumped back up to $300. Spy and Kodak, yeah. Only had 5 shares. Wow, that sucks. CMRA dropped really hard there. So that's a stop on the remainder. CMRA. BGXX looking pretty good here. RIBT not really looking fantastic by any means. VRAX back up pretty good here. Didn't quite hit that $4.04 level, just hit 411 or 410 there, started to take off again. It's at 440 now. GCT almost at the VWAP level. Doesn't look like it's quite going to hit either. And if it does hit, we might have problems here because that MACD is looking very close to the zero threshold there. Is your MACD exponential or a simple moving average? I can show you. Where's my MACD? So it's exponential. Oops, didn't mean to take it away. I meant to do this. So fast length 3, slow length 13, signal smoothing 1. And it's EMA. You don't really want simple moving averages when you're day trading. Simple moving averages are just too slow. So you're not ever gonna find anything really useful with it with SMAs unless you're doing like longer term day trades. GLSI, $5 to 150. How did you make like a good amount of money on that? That's an insane jump. Usually your first win has a lot of bitter feelings as well because unless you were really lucky and you caught exactly the top, then either, like I caught MTRX, or I think it was MTRX, at 11 cents and brought it up to $2.60. It actually hit like $3, but I just sold early because I was like, this is good money for me. And then it came back down all the way to 20 cents. So there was bag holders who got in at like 280, 290, $3, and they were still holding at like 10 cents because they thought the company was going to do great. And they've been holding for years. I'm actually part of one of their groups, and they do nothing but talk good stuff about the stock, even though it's sitting at like $1.40 right now or something. Made 3K. Oh, gotcha. That's not bad though. Still a really good win. Well, I think we're out of time for the day. Just a couple things to keep in mind. CMRA might come back here. It did hit a new low, so that's something to be careful of. But if it does break above this, 216, 218 level, it could definitely come back. SXTC, not really worth playing. PXMD, not really worth playing. BGXX looks good right now. I wouldn't buy in quite yet because we're at a high here, so I would be waiting for VWAP or close to VWAP here to buy back into that. JZ is looking all right, I guess. I'm not really entirely convinced that this isn't going to drop further, but you probably have until probably about 570. If it drops lower than 570, it's probably done for the day. RIBT, not really worth playing. I mean, you might be able to take a play off the 200 EMA here, so like 245 and see a bounce, but again, low volume, so not really much fun there. Brox looks like it's going to be a winner today. Pre-market, not looking good. Earlier, still, really gappy, not a lot of volume, but it has recently picked up lots of volume. So keep in mind this could be definitely a good play. I'd be waiting for, again, VWAP, but you never know. GCT took a nasty drop as well. Oh, no, that's not GCT. This is GCT. GCT is looking okay so far. I don't think it's going to quite hit the VWAP here, but it might. We see that it's just at that zero line on the MACD. So it looks like it's recovering nicely off a bounce. So you might not quite get a VWAP entry off this. You might have to go a little higher. But yeah, that's what I would basically be focusing on. HPCO, I mean, it could be okay. We're back to 860 on it. I'm still holding a little bit. We're at 880. I think this is going to be a win in the long run, but I'm just going to hold for a little bit longer and see what happens with the remainder. But yeah, this one could be another winner if you can get in like low around $8. You might be able to get that back up to $10 by the next hour, lunch hour, something like that. So keep that in mind. Yeah, the BBIG cult. Yeah, it's definitely a cult. When people bag hold for long enough, they join those cults because they need something to grasp onto, that little bit of hope, Anyways, guys, I'm gonna hop off. It was good talking to you guys and good trading with you guys, and I will see you again tomorrow. Take care, guys.